Did he say he looked like Tom Selleck on meth?
On meth. Yeah.
Welcome in on a Monday. Nothing gets a week started like some Billy Ocean. All right. Let's get in the mix. As unlikely as Roberto starting with really a classic. How the hell's MSU in the Sweet 16? Where did that defense come from?
They went old school, man. They went back to the days of Travis Walton and Draymond Green, and they locked them down. The Big East Player of the Year, 7 points, 6 turnovers. Now, granted, he had a bad hand, but still.
You know what's amazing? If you told me in the 2 games they played against USC and Marquette, they would go 6 for 30 from 3, I would have told you they're
done.
A, I don't know how they got out of the first game, but B, there's no way they beat Marquette. But you're right. Like when I was talking to you last night, I didn't have faith in this team because they don't rebound, they don't guard. And they've been woefully soft closing games.
Yeah.
But yet, now, the USC one, they did their damnedest. Thank God they were up 10.
They were up 10, and USC turned the ball over and over and over.
And they
again.
missed every front end. But I digress. They closed the game.
Right.
Marquette, it was throwback. It's brought to you by Mitchell and Ness.
Yeah, ridiculous amount of turnovers that Marquette had in the second half.
MSU had 7 fewer turnovers.
Yeah.
We out-rebounded them.
And just the reason why we sound shocked, that's Marquette's forte. They make you look ugly.
They create a turnover on 24% of
very first play of the game, they pick AJ's pocket and turns around for a layup. And he's like, yeah, that was a wake-up call for me. I had to play better. And it's like, yeah, and you forced them to turn the ball over. Don't know. This Matty Sissoko, I haven't seen since the first week when he went up against Shibwe and Drew Timme and actually played well. Yep. 8 and 10 and 2 great blocks at the end. Well, one, you probably caught a break. But still, he with 4 fouls, he's out there being aggressive. I haven't seen that team play that way
all year. Just call it what it is.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if you predicted that they were going to lock down one of the best offenses in America, hold them to 60. If you predicted they would out-rebound their opponents, if you predicted that they would somehow not gag late in a game and close people out, God bless. You deserve full credit because I didn't hear from you.
Yeah, and what they did for the first time in a long time, maybe all year, Mike, they didn't pout. When things weren't going their way, they just said.
Yeah, they grinded.
You know what, guys, 3-pointers aren't falling. We'll shoot the open ones, but let's score 2s and let's keep them from scoring. And, man, they could have easily got into it with the referees because whoever, I forgot, number 12. Oh,
Mitchell.
What he was doing to Joey was just a crime.
Is that Tony Mitchell? He's their best defensive player.
No. It wasn't Mitchell.
Oh, you mean
the guy who horse collared, and then finally he got caught horse collaring, and I'm like, that's a 15-yard penalty in football.
Flagrant. Yeah.
And then he got fake shot by a sniper somewhere in the stands after he did the horse collar.
It was funny. Like you killed Joey Hauser, but you're the one lying on the ground. Right. And look, we're going to get to the Lions at 3. We're going to balance this. But I guess here's where I'm at.
I guess David wants no part of this conversation.
Well, I know he doesn't. I wouldn't either if it was the reverse. But here's the deal.
Congratulations, guys.
Oh, thank you. Again, I didn't think they'd be here. But I mean, I guess it's intrigue and happiness where, like, if they're going to play with that brand of toughness, I can support that. Like, I can watch that. I can get involved. What I can't do is watch the team that clown cars down the stretch, as Rico put it. They pout. They get out-rebounded. In the big moments, they get small. This team didn't do that. Now, whether it's the tournament, they're out of the Big Ten, whether it just is 2 games where they put it together. Look, I don't look at Kansas State or Tennessee as impossible. I don't feel that way. Like if they were playing Bama next round, I'd tell you it's been fun. I just have always viewed this, and it's a disagreement I have with a lot of Spartan fans. I don't get excited about the Sweet 16 because I feel like this is where the real tournament begins. Mm-hmm. Making the Sweet 16 means you don't suck.
Right. And as I told you, I'm going to stay consistent. If they make it to the Sweet 16 this year, I'm going to consider it an accomplishment just because how frustrating this team was. It's not the goal. It's not where you want to be. I'm not saying hang a banner.
I want to be
But what I am saying is, I didn't think that they could make it this far and get out the first weekend, but they got out of their own way. And I told, if you can beat Marquette, maybe everything kind of mirrored that 2015 season. Frustrating team, lost 12 games, 7 seed. You got to play Virginia. You play Marquette, and after that, you know what? You didn't have to play a number 1 seed in the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8, and you made your way to the Final Four. Maybe it can happen again. We'll see what happens in New York.
No, and again, I want to know where people are at with it. And then if you were predictive of it, God bless. I wasn't, but I'm going to be happy about it. I don't know where the defense came from. Rico nailed it. I mean, the only nitpick I could have, is I don't know what Maddie and company were doing on the Cam Jones screens, where you're not getting over the top or you're deciding to help. Forget about the big running to the basket. Cam Jones is firing.
Yeah, you know why? Here's your nitpick. He, on the scouting list of the 5 players on the court, he's number 8. If he scores, I'm sure Marquette thought the same thing. If Matty Sissoko is beating us, then blame coach. I'm not going to waste energy on that guy.
Yeah, but he's the best three-point shooter.
Right, but going towards the basket, like, okay, if he wants to lay up, fine. But yeah, other than that, no, they went out there. I mean, even their three-pointers would rattle in and come out. It wasn't like they were shooting air balls. I mean, in practice, I mean, in the warm-ups, they're nailing the threes. I'm thinking, okay, they're going to come out here and bomb away. They didn't. They still found a way to win the game. They pulled it out. Shaka Smart went full Shaka Smart, and, they're going home.
All right, so let's hear from the people on it. We'll get to the Lions at 3 o'clock. We're going to weave in and out of this deal. We'll do a little college hoops, get a football today, bottom of the hour. Next hour, Lions, virtuoso performance by Brad Holmes. Maybe the best signing of their offseason on a very fair deal. And a player that if he plays well, I think you're attempting to sign by Halloween, but more on that later. And then we'll do a March Madness Blitz bottom of that hour. We're just going to keep it rolling with both topics. And again, I want to know where you're at. Rico says it's an accomplishment that they're here. For me, I need a little more. And I know I'm a red ass and I'm a bleep hole New Yorker, and I just feel like if they're not at the Garden Saturday playing for a right to go to the Final Four, I'll be bummed out if they lose to Jerome Tang and Kansas State. And Noel's a good guard, and Keontae Johnson, the Florida transfer, is a really nice wing player. But, like, if you're going to do this to Marquette, I like to believe you could show up and beat Kansas State.
Now, the good news is, after the game and talking with Tom, he said that Tyson's going to buy him some pizza. I said I would talk to you to find the best Sbarro's to go and get a slice of pizza
I hate your guts.
from.
I really
do.
do.
In New York. He says he wants a pizza that can fold 4 times. Like, Mike knows the best one.
John's on bleep. Done. If you get that man Sbarro, I'm out of here. That's criminal. Absolutely criminal.
Could you imagine if he does this and on TV he says, "Thanks, Mike. Appreciate the compliment."
And I went to the Sbarro's. It was lovely.
It's a disgrace. Honestly.
And I think my guy, Mike.
Yeah, if he does that, you're going to usher him into retirement. But no, I think it was really fun that they played throwback ball. And you're not going to win a lot of tournament games unless you're truly dominant. They're not going to be works of art. It's hard to do it. Like Bama right now is on cruise control. They're killing everybody. They're beating teams by 20. Like, I mean, they're out here crushing. Like Brandon Miller doesn't even play, and they're bombing teams. Like that's not how it generally works.
Right.
So look, I want to know where people are at with it. I think it's intriguing. I never expected they would beat Marquette. I just didn't think they had the defensive acumen to do it, but I'll be damned. They held them to 60. And Kolek, non-factor, got in foul trouble. The Cam Jones stuff is the only nitpick I could make for a kid who lifetime is like a 39% three-point shooter. I'm going to need you to get up on him, please. Outside of that, they just nutted up, man. They out-toughed him. They grinded him. You remember all those games like when State was in their prime? They were grinds, and they would just outlast you. It's like a 15-round title fight.
Yeah, the Travis Walton years.
Yeah.
Where, first one to 50 wins. Because, that's all the game was. They were going to ugly it up. They went out there.
It was nice to see because they hadn't done it all year, Rico.
They got it done, and I think the biggest thing, Mike, was Tyson Walker decided to be Tyson Walker. He wasn't passive. Maybe it was the fact that he was going to go home to New York, but he takes the game over in the second half. Late in the game, he goes on his own little 10-point run where he scores 10 straight, making incredible shots, pull-up jumpers. It didn't matter who was on him because the ball was going in the basket, steals the ball, dunks it, and pretty much cemented the game. If that Tyson Walker shows up every game, you got a shot. But you can't be the same Tyson that played against USC because that's when you leave yourself open, you leave yourself vulnerable. But, man, when he's on and his teammates know it, they make sure they get him the ball, and I'll take that guy versus anybody.
Yeah, he had the contested jumper, which was degree of difficulty high. He had the ridiculous layup late where I don't know how the hell it went in. The clutch free throws into the steal. I think it was a personal 8-0 run.
10-0.
And that was the game. Like when you're playing these tight tournament games and you're going to grind these teams down, it's one run late and it's over. Like you saw it Miami and Drake.
Yeah.
Drake outplayed him for basically 46 minutes.
And in my best 30 for 30 voice, what if I told you that at the end of the first weekend, there would be one Big Ten team in the Sweet 16? Could you pick that team? I don't think anybody's picking MSU.
I know it's not the show to do it, but at some point, can we do 5 minutes on what the F do you do with Matt Painter?
Oh, I'm down.
I told you.
Hey,
you
David's awake. Hey, good afternoon.
To laugh at Purdue, of course.
You can't bet on coaches with big heads. I told you that. It's science.
I don't think that's
that bulbous cranium. You can't do it. I told you. I warned you before the tourney.
I don't think that's qualification for losing, but sure, why not? Let's go.
You got a 7'5" center against a team full of 5'10" tryhards, and you don't get him the ball. How do you just not clear out and put Lawyer and Zach Edey on one side of the floor? Everybody else, go get a drink of water. We're going to run two-man game.
I could.
It's not hard.
No. I'll tell you. I'll save it for when we talk about it.
Okay. Big heads, man.
It's like you're picking the team colors, and don't go with any school that has a bird mascot.
I think cat mascots were 7-2 this weekend.
Kansas State still going.